And gentlemen, welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. Got a big show for you today. It is Tuesday. Lots to talk about. Some weird stuff going on. A video is going viral on X and TikTok too, I believe. But I don't get on TikTok very much. But I believe this video originated from TikTok. Not sure like where it came from or what the source was, because I've seen this all over X. But it's a video of Kamala Harris staring into a crystal ball and predicting her own her own victory. She's rubbing the ball like this, and she's looking up. It's really odd, really bizarre. But after rubbing the crystal ball and predicting her victory, she looks at the camera and gives a creepy laugh. Now, actually, it's kind of like a cackle, like a witch's cackle, maybe. And I was watching this. I was like, it's a good thing she got rid of that wart she probably had on her nose at some point. Good thing she got that froze off or whatever she did, because that would just be too perfect. But in other Kamala news, she has arrived in Philly for the debate. But apparently she has been holed up in a hotel room for the last 5 days with a Trump impersonator. Yeah, she's practicing for the debate with a Trump impersonator. I wonder if it's like Shane Gillis or something like that. Shane Gillis, he's a fantastic Trump impersonator. But I don't think he would do that. I don't think Shane Gillis would be able to stand Kamala Harris for 5 days. A CNN host is shocked that Kamala Harris has a position that illegal aliens should have taxpayer-funded transition surgeries. Did you know that? Apparently, Kamala Harris believes that you, the taxpayer, should pay for transition surgeries for illegal aliens. Now, I have a problem with paying for transition surgeries for anyone, much less illegal aliens. So that's a little bit concerning. But if you're for that, I mean, I guess vote for Kamala. I don't know if you want your money going towards a transition surgery for someone that just walked over the border. I mean, I guess that's your thing. ABC's chief meteorologist, this is kind of crazy, says that weather manipulation has been done for decades, and talks about cloud seeding. All this. I mean, I thought this was all just a conspiracy theory, but I guess they're slowly starting to talk about it in the mainstream. I don't know. I remember back in the day when you say weather manipulation, you were labeled a conspiracy theorist. And I think, what was it? It was a few months ago. Was it in Dubai where they had that flooding? And they all blamed it on the fact that Dubai did this thing called cloud seeding. And people were like, wait a second, you guys are just talking about this now? Like, I remember years ago when people would talk about this stuff, you'd be labeled a conspiracy theorist. You'd be mocked saying you have a tinfoil hat on. Now it's just kind of mainstream. Weird stuff. Next thing you know, those contrails, chemtrails. Next thing you know, chemtrails are going to be talked about in the news. I mean, but as you probably know, the first presidential debate is tonight. Well, I mean, I guess it's technically the second presidential debate for Trump, but the first one for Kamala, first one since she was installed as the Democrat candidate. But we're going to take a look at the rules of the debate as well as where to watch the debate. Just kidding. I'll be streaming it here on Unwoke Thoughts. You better be watching. Melania Trump releases a short video on X talking about her experience when her husband was almost assassinated. Mike Lee says that attaching the SAVE Act, of course, you guys know the SAVE Act is this bill that would require everyone to show proof of citizenship when registering to vote. But he says that attaching this SAVE Act to the upcoming budget bill is a no-brainer. And I tend to agree with him. Why aren't we doing this? Republicans are saying, well, the Democrats are just going to shut down the government. Let the Democrats shut down the government. I have not heard one good excuse why the SAVE Act should not be attached to the upcoming continuing resolution bill. The upcoming CR. We finally have some leverage on something that we really, really need, really want. And it would be the Democrats that would have to shut down the government. That's bad politics for the Democrats. Republicans are always so weak. They like to say, well, we can't do this because the government's going to shut down. No. That's on them. They're going to have to shut down the government. The majority of Americans believe that we should show some sort of identification or prove that we are a citizen to vote. So if the Democrats are shutting the government down over something like that, that is bad politics for them. I think the Republicans have it twisted. Either they have it twisted or, they're cooking up some backroom deal that's beneficial just for them. I was very disappointed in a lot of these Republicans. Thomas Massey, for instance, saying that we should not attach it to the upcoming budget bill. Thomas Massey, he's like one of my favorite members of Congress. He's just moved down a notch for me. I had a lot of respect for the guy. And now he hasn't given me one good reason why we should not attach it to the budget bill. Matt Gaetz, though, he kind of excoriated or roasted some of the Republican members. And he says that they are negotiating he's accusing them of a pre-negotiated surrender. Yes, he replies to Mike Lee's tweet. So we're going to look at that. Very passionate about the SAVE Act, guys. I think that's very important. Democrat senator from Ohio is confronted about the Haitian illegal migrants, that he allowed Biden and Kamala Harris to dump into Springfield, Ohio. And the media is working overtime to contradict just how bad things are in Springfield. Remember, there's all these stories about people or these Haitians eating people's pets, stealing them off their lawns, going into parks and eating the ducks. Well, apparently this is all misinformation, even though we're hearing it directly from people's mouths in Springfield, Ohio. They're going to the city council meetings and begging them to do something about this stuff. But according to the media, this is all misinformation that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are spreading. So interesting stuff. But speaking of illegals, guys, this is crazy. 2 men from Nebraska are charged after killing and eating a bald eagle. That's disturbing. I wonder, probably tasted like chicken. I don't know. But Trump is seeking for a federal appeals court to intervene in his hush money conviction in New York City. A California HOA tries to force a homeowner to take down his Trump signs. And finally, James O'Keefe exposes Google for their search engine manipulation that they always label as a glitch. Turns out, guys, I know we all believe them. I know we all believe Google when they said this was a glitch. I know we all believed Amazon when they said the Alexa thing was a glitch. I know we all believe Facebook when they said that was a glitch. But turns out, in the biggest surprise of all time, blew my mind, it's not a glitch. Wow. Who would have guessed? But before we get into the show, leave a like on this video and also comment down below. Let me know what you think of the show. And if you enjoy the show, consider subscribing. Also, guys, don't forget to go to mypillow.com. Use promo code UNWOKE. Why should you use promo code UNWOKE? Because with the UNWOKE promo code, you get up to 80% off. And MyPillow has fantastic products, fantastic stuff. Mike Lindell, he begged me. He said, Andrew, please, 80% off is too much. I said, Mike, listen, my audience deserves this promo. And he said, all right, Andrew. All right. As long as they buy a lot of stuff. So make sure to buy a lot of stuff so that we can continue this promo going on. But also, I'm drinking my coffee today. My coffee is coffee from My Pillow. Yes, it's actually really good. It's not crap coffee. It's organic coffee, non-GMO, low acidity. I like the dark roast from Honduras. Yes. Looks like this. I got the 2-pound bag. I love it. I mean, I like really strong coffee, and this is the perfect stuff. I really like the fact that it's low acidity. If you get stuff like Folgers, it kind of has high acidity in it. I don't know. It messes with you sometimes. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. This is crazy. Okay. Kamala stares into a crystal ball. Or I don't know. Is she actually staring here? I thought she was. I think that's what I put on there. She's kind of just closing her eyes and rubbing the ball. Okay, I guess that's what's going on. And predicts her own victory. Yeah, this is really odd, guys. I don't know what the heck she's doing here. But pay attention to the end when she stares into the camera and she gives her cackle. Watch.
I feel that the future is bright and that we will have a new president who will be elected, and she will lead the nation with integrity and with a sense of fairness and justice, and she will be me.
No! Make it stop! Make it go away. I can't. Oh, I can't look. That's just. Oh, look at that. Look at that evil laugh and smile. Oh, man. Imagine, guys, 4 years of that. That doesn't motivate you to call a friend or family member, make sure they're registered to vote, and that they have a ride to their polling place. If that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does. Could you imagine seeing 4 years of this goofy nonsense and knowing in the back of your mind that this is the woman that apparently runs the country? Ugh. I can't even, guys. I can't even. But Kamala Harris lands in Philadelphia for the debate, and she is asked by a reporter if she's worried about debating Trump, and she gives the same response she always gives. It's nothing. You know, just a typical Kamala Harris response. And in this case, you know, Kamala Harris's typical response is always just silence to the press. She doesn't want to talk to the press. She at this point, she can't afford, you know, opening her mouth and her poll numbers slipping by another 1%. I mean, that's just every time it happens. It's like a law of physics. Kamala opens her mouth, she talks, people hear, her poll numbers go down. I don't make physics. God does, okay? I'm just saying. So I guess she's being smart. She's keeping her mouth shut and keeping her poll numbers, you know, locked in place at the moment. Because come the debate, what's going to happen? That's a lot of talking. So that is a lot of poll numbers to lose. So she's making sure she's holding onto those poll numbers right now. But Kamala Harris was greeted in Philadelphia by some Trump supporters right here as her motorcade was driving down the road downtown. Got a video right here. No sound on this video, but people wanting her to know that she is welcome as long as she knows that Philadelphia is for Trump. Yes, Philadelphia is a very important state for Donald Trump to win. At this point, I believe that he is winning in Philadelphia by several points, so that's good. Also, it appears that Kamala Harris has been preparing for the debate with a Trump impersonator. And I saw this video of this guy kind of explaining, doing like a quick overview of what's been going on the last several days with Kamala Harris and this debate and her preparation. And I just thought it was really funny, guys. Listen to this.
Hours away, and according to the presidential debate is 48 hours away, and according to the New York Times, Kamala Harris has been holed up in a hotel room in Pittsburgh since last Thursday with a Donald Trump impersonator. Back in 2016, Hillary Clinton also did debate prep with a Donald Trump impersonator, but guess what? She still lost. Nothing is going to take away from the fact that Kamala Harris has some major deficits. She also has no policies on her website. Now, that being said, I would love to be a fly on the wall with Kamala and the Donald Trump impersonator. She loves to flip-flop. She might think she despises Donald Trump, but after 5 nights together in the honeymoon suite, she might have him feeding her chocolate-covered strawberries. I also just want to say a public apology to Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff. Seeing your wife spend 5 days in a hotel with another man cannot be easy. I imagine the debate prep's going like this. Trump, you're a convicted felon. You've got 34 felony counts, but you want to serve time in the back room. Kamala, why do you need a Trump impersonator? Just come up with some policies, go out there, talk to the people. It took you 40 days to do a sit-down interview on CNN and it was only 18 minutes. Now you need 5 days with the impersonator in a hotel. Get to work. What's going to happen when you're president and we have a crisis on our hands? Calamity did take a few minutes off to visit a local spice store. Maybe she needed some cayenne, some paprika. I wish she took some time to visit the southern border, but I'm not holding out hope. While out shopping for spices, Kamala ran into some women who were quite emotional. They were starstruck, they were crying, and that's okay. Let the waterworks flow. However, I wish Kamala Harris could show the same compassion for the Gold Star families who lost their loved ones during her and Joe Biden's calamitous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, according to some other reporting by Politico, Kamala Harris's team is shaking and quaking because the mics are going to be turned off like the last debate in June. Kamala Harris is so thirsty for another I'm speaking moment, but I have to just say this. I was raised by a strong woman. Either you're speaking or you're not. If you're speaking, you don't have to tell us you're speaking. This isn't rocket science, Calamity. One thing I will say about Kamala Harris, though, calling it like I see it, she has this prosecutor background. I could see her making some good points in the debate. Donald Trump, he's doing more informal preparation. He's sitting around with his team, talking about policy. They're throwing out questions. He's not using a Kamala impersonator. I also have to ask, Kamala Harris, she's holed up in a hotel room for 5 days playing dress up, 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know what's going on in there. Joe Biden, where is he? He's the president of the United States. We've got major crises all around the globe. Who is running the country? Now, as I often say, the bar is so low it's in the 7th ring of hell. The bar is so low, Dobby from Harry Potter couldn't even do the limbo under it. Kamala Harris, she just has to do fine. She has to do okay. I will say this debate is important because most Americans, yes, they've made up their minds about who they want to vote.
Okay. You get it. He goes on for quite a while, but I think the first part of that is just hilarious when he talks about Kamala Harris and the Donald Trump impersonator. Yes, and he's right. The bar is really low. Remember the bar with Joe Biden? The bar is not much higher for Kamala Harris. She just has to essentially recite lines. That's all she has to do. And if she does it without cackling or without messing up, what's going to happen? The media is going to declare her the winner. Oh, she sounded strong and presidential. You know what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Now, the initial perception of the people watching and what the media says is probably going to be, two different things, but that's what the media is for. The media is there to convince people that she won. That's their whole purpose, is convince people of something that isn't reality. So look for that to happen. Will she have an abysmal debate? I don't know. She's been practicing a lot. I know she's been doing that. There's a lot on the line with this debate. And, the Democrats have thrown all their chips in with Kamala. She's raising a ton of money. So, she's going to be as prepared as she possibly can be. What is in the past month? She's raised $500 million. That's a lot of money. So the Democrats want to protect her investment. So she's probably going to be put on the uppers that Biden was put on to some degree, keep her mind clear and her tongue sharp. I I don't know. I don't know what these people do, but it's going to be an interesting debate. I'll be covering it here on Unwoke Thoughts. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification, guys. If you go to my channel, you hit that drop down where that bell is, a notification bell is. You have to physically click on all notifications. You can't just click the bell because YouTube will personalize your notifications and decide what notifications you get or not. Moving on, guys. This was an interesting clip. ABC, their chief meteorologist, it says on camera that the weather has been manipulated for decades.
Cloud seeding is booming. They anticipate at least another 200 ground cloud seeding machines to be put in before next season.
Ginger, this is such a cool concept, but is it too good to be true? I mean, how do we know that the chemicals that they're spraying from the air aren't bad for us or the planet?
The good news is we've been doing this since the 1940s and 50s. Other countries do it, and there have been a lot of research projects that have shown that the silver iodide, for example, is not found. It's negligible once it gets down to ground level.
So, again, I don't want to be too skeptical, but is there anything wrong with manipulating nature like this?
I think that's the question we should have asked when we built every single parking lot and every rooftop. We have been manipulating weather with us for a very long time. I do think that looking at and continuing research on when these programs get bigger, if it will affect people downstream, that needs to be watched.
At least we're manipulating it now to help.
So what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of manipulating weather? When I think of manipulating weather now, I think of Dubai. That's what I think of. And when I think of Dubai, I think of how they did that cloud seeding thing for so long. What happened? I'm not a meteorologist or whatever, but I think what happened was they spray these chemicals into the sky for so long that eventually, to prevent rain, I believe they did it to prevent rain. I want to say that. But these clouds built up so big, or the rain built up so much that it eventually wouldn't work anymore, and it just flooded Dubai. I don't know if you guys remember. This was like 2-3 months ago, maybe. I wonder if I can find these videos. Dubai floods. But that's what was going on in Dubai. This was just a few months ago. I should have had these ready. But yeah, I believe that's what was going on. So I think if you mess with nature like that, it's not a good idea. That's my position on it. If you're messing with nature, it's probably not a good idea because you're going to pay for it in the end, you know? But I mean, what do I know? I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not a scientist. But, you know, they say trust the science, right? But moving on from that stuff, I'm going to take off my tinfoil hat. Melania Trump releases video on X talking about Donald Trump's attempted assassination.
Uncovered the truth. The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
So, looks like it's a promo for her book, which you can order on melaniatrump.com. You go here. Brings you to this. And I looked at this beforehand, guys. You can get, it doesn't zoom in. You can get this book for a low price of $250. And that's the collector's edition. So then you can get a signed memoir for $75. And just the regular memoir for $40. So you can get the collector's edition, the signed memoir, and the memoir. Or let's take the memoir off. For $325 total. So, yeah, guys, looks like a pretty good deal. She got some other stuff on here. She got jewelry, $245. Wow. Guys, just go to mypillow.com, okay? Go to mypillow.com. Get yourselves a nice pillow. I mean, they don't cost that much. Come on, Melania. You're killing us over here. $250 to read your book. Okay, I guess. You know, it'd be kind of a cool thing to have. You don't see Melania very much. She's a very private person. It'd probably be an interesting book to read. I'll be honest with you. But still, go to mypillow.com. Get something there instead. Moving on to Mike Lee. Senator Mike Lee. He had a kind of a Twitter thread that he tweeted out. Tweeted this out yesterday. He said, please encourage your House representatives to vote for the spending bill with the SAVE Act attached. We have less than 48 hours until the House is scheduled to vote. This is our last chance to pass the SAVE Act before the November election. House Republicans must deliver. Then he says this, because yesterday, guys, we talked about this, and I said how surprised I was that Thomas Massie and some of these other Republicans. I mean, Thomas Massie was the one that surprised me the most because this guy is solid. Big fan of Thomas Massie. When I heard he was opposed to the SAVE Act being attached to the CR bill, I was like, what's going, like, can you give me some context? Can you tell me why? And anything I saw from Thomas Massie was just very vague stuff. So I'm like, what the heck, man? I mean, I'm a reasonable person. If there's a reason why it shouldn't be, tell me in plain language. Explain to me. Be specific. Because to me, this bill is of utmost importance. Mike Lee thinks so too. He says some of our best House Republicans don't want to vote for the spending bill, even with the SAVE Act attached. They're standing up against a longtime abuse of take it or leave it spending bills. I respect that and certainly respect them. Nonetheless, this vote is a no-brainer. It isn't even a close call. We must do all we can to deter non-citizen voting by passing the SAVE Act before it's too late. And the only way to do that is to pass it as part of the September spending bill. And then Matt Gaetz also, he responded to this. He retweeted this tweet. This is what he says. He said, here's the problem, Senator Lee. Our own leadership has pre-negotiated its surrender on the SAVE Act, and they already know they'll cave on it and accept a clean CR from Schumer. Says it's hard to get inspired to run into a fight when the surrender already has been choreographed. So there is your weak, sniveling, cowardly Republican Congress. They can't even pass a bill that would ensure that your vote come November isn't diluted by illegal immigrants. So each one of your votes, if this isn't passed, each one of your votes is going to be worth a little bit less. Depending on how many illegal aliens vote, it's not like the Democrats say where, oh, it's already illegal. It's already illegal to vote if you're a non-citizen. Well, they're here illegally already, so they've already broke one law. Do you think they give a crap if they vote another law? No. I'll answer that question for you. Absolutely, positively not. They don't care. They don't care. And it's just wild. What are there, low estimates, 10, 11 million illegal aliens in the country. High estimates, 20 million. I say split the difference. Let's say 15. And that's probably low anyways. And you have Texas removing 1 million illegitimate voters from their voter rolls. This stuff is going on all over the place. And then you have states that are not even looking into this. You have liberal states that are not looking into this because they are the ones that benefit from, this funny business going on in elections. And we can't even get our freaking Republican Congress to stand up and put their foot down on a bill that requires you to have identification if you vote. Dear God, that is just, The anger that is bubbling up in me. I'm seething over this. Now, this hasn't happened yet. Maybe I'm wrong. But if history is any indication, they're going to cave. Why do we even have a Republican? What's the point? Vote them out. Vote them all out, including Thomas Massey. That really ticked me off. Thomas Massey. What a joke, man. I mean, the stuff he says, great. But how? When it comes down to the wire, can you not put your vote down or your foot down on this one thing? Man. Anyways. Moving on to Ohio, where these Haitian migrants are all over the place. What, 20,000 of them descended on a town of 60,000? Democrat Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown gets confronted about the Haitian migrants he voted to import that are now, they say, eating people's pets. But this was posted by Laura Loomer. Listen.
And he just says nothing.
Senator Brown, real fast.
Appreciate ya.
How would you feel if an illegal
if you have a
Asian...
question, we're happy to
I mean, no, we're on a sidewalk, so I'm going to ask it real quick. How do you feel about illegal Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio eating dogs?
Senator Brown,
would you be happy if an illegal alien ate your dog, Senator Brown?
Senator, when you're taking your
You did allow illegal Haitians into America via your votes with Bizzare Harris, Senator Brown. Would you like to comment?
Do you think it's possible that your committee will move the legislation for the end of the night?
Senator, do you think we should decriminalize fentanyl like what Kamala Harris says? Do you agree with Kamala Harris?
So, I mean, basically this reporter just asking questions. I mean, I don't know why I play these things because they rarely respond, but it is kind of funny to see him, a reporter asking him these questions. But the media is working overtime to try to say that all of this stuff is being blown out of proportion, that immigrants aren't actually eating people's pets. They're basically what they're trying to do here is they're presenting a red herring. Okay, or maybe a reverse red herring. I don't know if I'm not sure where the rumors came from about these Haitians eating people's pets. I think they just came from the individuals in the town. But we do have individuals standing up in front of city council and talking about the ducks being taken from the parks, disappearing from the parks. Haitians squatting on people's lawns. These are things that I've seen myself on video, people standing up before city council. And then, of course, on Twitter, there was this big rumor about the Haitians eating people's pets. Now, the media, they focus on this one thing, right? It's like a reverse red herring or a red herring. And they blow it up and say, this is what the whole thing was about. It was about people being mad, these racist Republicans being mad because of this false narrative that Haitian immigrants are eating the pets of the town or the people of the town. That's not the whole thing. But that's what they make it about. This is what the media does. And they blow that up and say, oh, this is a false story. But you see right here, CNN Politics, they say Trump campaign and J.D. Vance promote false rumors about Haitian immigrants eating pets. And this was all over the news. It was really funny because my Twitter feed yesterday was like all cats and Trump, like saving cats. They were using Grok, X's Grok AI image generator, generating pictures of Trump running outside of Ohio with cats. It was fun. He's just got all these cats and he's running and he's saving the cats. And yeah, it's great stuff. But that was like the majority of my Twitter feed yesterday. It was crazy. But CNN says several prominent Republicans, including the party's VP, J.D. Vance, promoted false claims on Monday that these migrants are killing and eating family pets. A post say the rumor centers on the Ohio city of Springfield, which has experienced a surge in recent migration from Haitians seeking to escape a Caribbean country that has been rocked from years of natural disasters. Yeah. So this Caribbean country has natural disasters, and now it is Springfield, Ohio's problem. No, listen, Springfield, Ohio is what? A town of 58,000 people, and they took 20,000 Haitian migrants and put them into the town just from Haiti? From Haiti, guys. 20,000. Could you imagine? That's like, they talk about third world countries. That's like a fourth world country. I mean, you're taking a fourth world country and putting into a first world country, and you're just smashing those cultures together. What do you think is going to happen? Now it's their problem. That is mega dangerous. And they're talking about like, oh, these evil racist Ohioans, like how dare them be mad that these Haitians are coming in and ruining their town. It's like, the media is just so disgusting. There's one thing I despise more than anything. It's the mainstream media. But I guess a post in a Springfield Facebook group recently claimed a neighbor's daughter's friend found their cat missing, hanging from a branch at a Haitian neighbor's home, and it was being prepped to be eaten. Those rumors were picked up by conservative media, then spread on X, where they gained widespread traction on Monday. So they say this is a false rumor, but if you go into the actual article, where does it say it's false? It just says a post from a Facebook group claimed. And now they're saying that is false. I mean, I think they could have just stuck with rumor, but they have to insert the qualifier false rumor. This is the problem with mainstream media. They put their own interpretation on things, and they specifically do it in the headlines. False rumor, you never said anywhere in the article that was false. You just said it was posted on a Facebook page. But also, I mean, there's a video of these individuals standing up before city council. One of them, they're complaining that, hey, the ducks are disappearing in the park. These Haitians are taking the ducks. So that's, I mean, I know ducks aren't technically the pets of the people of the town, but it's tangentially related, right? So the mainstream media doing what the mainstream media does, line. But one thing that is pretty cut and dry, this article from New York Post, it actually has a great headline. They said, that's illegal. That's illegal. 2 Nebraska men charged after killing bald eagle to eat. 2 Honduran nationals believed to be illegal migrants were arrested in Nebraska on Tuesday after gunning down a North American bald eagle with the intention of cooking and eating it. The 2 men were identified as 2 Honduran nationals living in Norfolk. The duo indicated to authorities that they planned on cooking and eating the bird. Sources say that the men had no identification on them. This is a quote from the sheriff. He said, "We do believe they're here illegally after conferring with United States immigration." And that is the bird. Well, not the actual bird, but the bald eagle. Police officers responded to a report around 4 p.m. of a suspicious vehicle near the main wood duck recreation area, located about 3 miles southwest of Stanton. The car was found on a field in the 629-acre wetland, and when the officers stopped the men, they determined they had a dead North American bald eagle in their possession. Further investigation revealed that the 2 had shot and killed the protected national bird in the area and stated they planned on cooking and eating the bird. Unger said, I guess this is the sheriff. They cut off the bird's feet, intending to make the talons into ornaments. Nebraska Game and Parks was contacted and took custody of the eagle and the rifle used to kill the bird of prey. So, that's not good. But it just shows, I mean, this is, once again, a clash of cultures. These people, small things like they don't know what the national bird is. Or if they do, they don't know it's illegal to shoot. And if they do, they don't care. So, small stuff like that. The clash of cultures. And you're forcing your taxpayers to put up with this. The people that pay your bills, Congress, the people that literally put money in your pocket to represent them, you are forcing them to deal with a clash of cultures that has one culture. I know they come from all over the world. Some come from probably, decent cultures, but some of them come from cultures that are diametrically opposed to the United States. Societies that are way, way less advanced. And you're putting that burden on your own citizens. And, immigration, I mean, sure. There's nothing wrong with, having immigrants come into our country. But we're looking at a massive influx of immigrants, of illegal immigrants. That's when it becomes a problem. But moving on, Trump has sought for a federal appeals court to intervene in his hush money conviction in New York, and Alvin Bragg has hit back. So, of course, Donald Trump's sentence has been postponed until after the election. This was the day after Steven Crowder released that undercover video of the chief of public affairs for the Southern District of New York saying that this whole thing was a sham, that Alvin Bragg was stacking and manipulating charges. It was past the statute of limitations. And the day after that was released, they postponed the sentencing. So that had to have had something to do with it. I really believe that. But now Donald Trump was asking for a federal appeals court to intervene. Probably one of the reasons why is because of this video. No one respects this. Everyone knows that this is a big sham job by the Democrats. But Alvin Bragg is still trying to continue the charade, probably acting like nothing is happening, but it is in fact. It's like what is the king that has no clothes, But New York City prosecutors are asking the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals to deny former President Donald Trump's motion for the federal appellate court in order to stay, or for the federal appellate court to order a stay on his hush money conviction. Trump's defense team argued in their motion last week that his sentencing in the case where he was found guilty of the felony counts should be delayed until the Second Court of Appeals can hear arguments on whether the case should be moved to federal court. Alvin Bragg argued that the court should deny Trump's request because it is not only legally unavailable, but also unnecessary, given Judge Merchan's decision to postpone Trump's sentencing date until after the 2024 presidential election. This is from Bragg. He says that adjournment eliminates any exigency or irreparable injury that would support a stay pending appeal here, referring to Merchan's adjournment. There is now no chance that defendant will be sentenced, let alone incarcerated, in the final weeks of the presidential election while early voting is going on. How about the fact that this whole case is BS? How about that, Alvin Bragg? How about your former colleague saying that this whole case is BS and that you're trying to do it to gain fame? You want to be, what did he say? Like some sort of, I don't know, mayor? Did he say mayor of New York? And come to think about it, the mayor is having some problems in New York right now. A lot of his people are being investigated. So maybe they're trying to, take him down, and they're going to install Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg, mayor of New York. Ooh. Man. What a corrupt place New York is, eh? It's crazy. Moving on. The HOA in this neighborhood tried to force a homeowner to take down his Trump sign, saying that it's a code violation. Now, let me ask you something, guys. If you're a part of an HOA, what would you do if they tried to force you to take down your Trump sign? I remember I used to do, years ago, I used to live in Dallas, and I worked for a roofing company. I was a contractor because Dallas gets a lot of hailstorms. So, we had these roofing companies that made tons of money just living off of these hailstorms that would hit Dallas. And I was a contractor, sales guy, if you will. I would make money, a percentage of the contract that I would sell to people. So I went in this neighborhood this one time, and it got hit with a lot of hail. And if you guys know, these neighborhoods in Dallas, they're huge, and all the roofs are like the exact same color. I think the color was weathered wood, I want to say. That was like the HOA approved color. And I remember talking to this guy. I sold him a roof, and he asked for like a completely different color, like a tan color. And I was like, well, won't your HOA have a problem with it? And he said, F the HOA. I don't give a crap what they said. So we installed the roof, and this guy in this entire large neighborhood, you could see it. It was obvious. All these houses had this like darkish brown weathered wood color, and he had this like yellowish tan roof. Oh, the HOA was furious. My office got so many calls. I mean, I talked to him. He said the HOA was trying to, I don't know, sue him or something. I don't know what was going on. They find him. And he said, every time they send me a letter trying to say I owe the money, I shove it right up their ass. I love this guy. But I've had experience with HOAs. But I mean, anyways, but listen to this.
A banner debate in Lodi after the HOA of a neighborhood sent a resident a letter saying he had to remove the signs he had posted on his home that support Donald Trump. Your reporter, Tori Apodaca, is in Lodi getting answers on this flag fallout.
This is that letter that Paul Wood Bonilla received from his HOA, and it doesn't make any mention of politics. Still, though, Bonilla believes that's why he's being targeted. You can see, though, that these Trump 2024 flags are still posted on his porch, and he says they aren't coming down anytime soon. But what does the California law say? We're getting answers.
The guy took a bullet from me. I'm going to support him.
Pushback against the political banners and signs supporting Trump posted on the front porch of Paul Wood Bonilla's Lodi home.
The signs must be removed immediately.
Bonilla received this letter from his HOA, Sunwest Homeowners Association, that told him his signs were in violation because they were bigger than 3 square feet in size. But Bonilla believes his banners are being targeted because he supports Trump. I read through the HOA contract and the letter and got answers to the question: can the HOA require the signs to come down?
The HOA is completely wrong. They cannot force him to take it down at all.
Local attorney Michael Wise, who is unrelated to this case, says that's because the California Civil Code's Davis-Sterling Act is clear, saying an association may prohibit non-commercial signs and posters that are more than 9 square feet in size and non-commercial flags or banners that are more than 15 square feet in size.
Oh, whatever. Who cares? Not a big fan. Not a big fan of HOAs. So, good luck to that guy. I hope he just tells the HOA to leave him alone. All right, last one we're going to talk about, guys. I was going to get into the Google thing. with James O'Keefe, but that's like a 10-minute long video. So we're kind of running out of time here. We're going to talk about the presidential debate really quick, go over the rules, what's going on with that, and then we'll get into the chat. Here are the rules for tonight's presidential debate between Trump and Harris. Former President Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will meet for their first debate on Tuesday at Philly's National Constitution Center in a showdown that could define the rest of the presidential campaign. Begins at 9 Eastern time, so that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so that's my time. So make sure you subscribe. I will be going live at 8 p.m. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified. It's being hosted by ABC News. There will be no live audience, no opening statements, according to the rules the network released last week. The two candidates will have under 2 minutes to deliver closing statements. This is the one that really bothers me right here. I don't like this one. Harris and Trump won't be able to ask questions of each other. Come on. That's the whole fun with debates. There should be a live round, 5 minutes live round where you just, can fire questions at each other. Or maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. But come on, that's the best part about these debates. They know that Donald Trump would annihilate Kamala Harris if they did this. So this is probably why. So only the moderators are able to ask the questions. David Muir and Lindsay Davis are permitted to ask questions only. Lindsay Davis, I don't know if you guys remember this, but during the DNC, she accused Donald Trump of basically aligning himself with, or being aligned somehow with the KKK. So yeah, give you an idea of just how unbiased these moderators are. When Donald Trump, I believe he went to, Howell, Michigan. And she was criticizing him from going to Howell, Michigan, because I guess there's a KKK chapter there. What? So yeah, that is one of the debate moderators. So yes, it's probably going to be for sure unbiased, right? The debate will be 90 minutes. There will be 2 commercial breaks. The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, 2 minutes for rebuttals, and an additional minute for follow-ups and clarifications. As CBS News previously reported, Harris's campaign agreed to let the microphones remain muted when a candidate isn't speaking. They wanted the microphones. Well, initially, these are the same rules that were in place during the Biden debate. They slammed Trump for trying to change some of the terms. And so finally, Trump just said, okay, I'll have the same exact terms of the Biden debate with you. They agreed to it. And then last minute, they wanted to change this one little term, one little rule. They wanted the mics to be unmuted after they'd all agreed that we'll just have the same, Biden debate rules. And the reason probably why they want the debates or the mics unmuted is because if you guys saw Kamala's debate with Pence years ago, she had her, I'm speaking. Excuse me, Mr. Pence, I'm speaking. Excuse me, sir, I'm speaking. So they definitely probably want her to get one of those situations in with Trump, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it. And if they do, the mics are going to be muted, so it's probably going to be a lot quieter. I'm speaking. What a weirdo, man. A coin flip determined the podium placement and order of closing statements. Trump won the virtual coin toss, and he decided to offer the final closing statement. And Harris chose the position on the right or stage left. Okay, so she stage left. I don't know, guys. I just don't get it. I feel like when you're looking on the screen, the left side is the dominant position. I don't know why they always choose stage left or the right side of the screen. I don't know. But the rules also state that candidates will stand behind their lecterns for the duration of the debate. A rule that may remind viewers of a 2016 debate between Trump and Hillary Clinton. when Trump left his place to linger near Clinton, a move some viewed as an intimidation tactic. Candidates aren't allowed to take pre-written notes or props on stage. They won't receive topics or questions in advance. Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe not in advance, but Kamala Harris is probably going to have, a little earpiece in her ear. She's going to be read all the questions or read all the answers, maybe. That's what they need to do. They need to check the debaters for earpieces prior to the debate. That's what they need to do, okay? ABC is allowing other television networks to simulcast the debate. CBS News will air the proceedings on the CBS broadcast network, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to be live streaming that as well. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. You never know, guys. These people are crazy, but I'm going to try anyways. But ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing? What's up, everyone? I saw this come across my screen. Jeffrey Thomas says, I was a salesman, not a contractor. I am a contractor. No, Jeffrey, I was a contractor. Why? Because I contracted jobs with clients. So therefore, I was a contractor. I was top salesman, actually. Top contractor, if you were. Maybe you're thinking, maybe you were a subcontractor. I don't know. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. No, but I was in fact a contractor. I did commercial and residential roofing contracting for several years. Yes. But let's see. What are you guys up to? Let me scroll this down. We got Bill Phillips in the chat. How's it going, Bill? Thanks for watching. We got Southern Sass. We got Shoemaker doing some modding. Thank you, Shoemaker. We got Mama Bear, some of my great members. Really appreciate my members. I don't know if you guys saw, I made my conversation with George public. We did that, I believe that was like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. We did that conversation. I'm thinking about getting George on again sometime soon. So if you guys would like to catch those videos first, join as a member. Getting updates from George every now and then, post them on members only, and then may or may not make them public. I don't know. If you guys really want to catch it, join as a member. It's $5 a month. It's like the cost of one Starbucks a month, guys. It really helps me out a lot because YouTube likes to mess with my monetization. I don't know, these live videos, a lot of the times they are hit with this thing called ad suitability. I don't know why, but that means that they're not suitable for most advertisers. So I don't really make a whole lot of money off of them. We got Michelle in the chat, the best mod in the world, posting those Unwoke My Pillow links. Yes, guys, go to Unwoke. Let me repeat this. Go to mypillow.com/unwoke to get the craziest deal you've ever heard of. Up to 80% off, guys. They have great stuff. They really do. They don't just have pillows. They have blankets, shoes. They have clothing, all sorts of stuff, guys. Big fan of My Pillow, especially their coffee. When I say this coffee is good, I really mean it, guys. I drink this stuff every morning. It's way better than Folgers or any of that other stuff. We got Queen Bee in the house. She said, "Good morning, Andrew." Good morning, fam. Hey, good morning, Queen Bee. Thanks for hanging out. We Need Peace is in the chat. It says later, skater. What else we got? Queen Bee says, "Sorry, I'm late." Well, what the heck, Queen Bee? What are you doing? Why are you late? How dare you? We got Christy in the chat. Thanks for watching, Christy. Teresa's on month 2 of membership. Hey, guys, also with the membership, you get access to our members only chat, our private members only chat. And every now and then, you'll have people that give each other food and eggs. Yes, that happened in the members only chat the other day. So it's pretty wild. So you might benefit from being a member. Who was it? I saw in the chat, someone gave someone food, eggs, because they were in this other person's town. I mean, guys, it was great to see. Shoemaker said Pete just became a member. Wait, let me see. Where is this? Pete. Okay, let me find Pete. If I can. Oh, I got to keep scrolling. There we go. Pete, welcome. Welcome, Pete. Thanks for joining. Make sure you go to my membership page or my YouTube page. Go to community. Join the chat, the Discord chat. It's in there. I think it might be one post down. For some reason, it doesn't allow me to pin posts. I'll make another post for you. Make sure you join the Discord. That's all part of it. Oh, here we go. This is what it is. Resto guy gave me apples and eggs because he lives near me and has an apple orchard and chickens. What? Guys, come on. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome. Just gave eggs. I mean, eggs are what, like $750 a dozen now? That's a lot of money with this inflation. That's crazy. But awesome. That's great, ladies and gentlemen. Like to see that. But guys, thanks for watching this morning. Make sure you hit that notification bell to catch the debate later tonight. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you could, please, before we get off here, if you could leave a like on this video, would appreciate it. And if you would like to support the show, consider becoming a member. I mean, you could get free apples and eggs. I don't know. I have a member that owns an entire orchard. That's pretty sweet. Eggs, you probably own chickens, an orchard. Let's go. But yeah, consider becoming a member. And if you'd like to just donate to the show, I have the link down below. I have my Cash App. And what's the last thing? I always have 3 things I do. Well, consider subscribing if you haven't yet. That's the last thing I think. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you later tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for the first presidential debate between Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. Have a good rest of your day. God bless.